Hi, I'm Michelle, and I get asked a lot of questions about what I can do during the first 6 weeks of postpartum. Until you've been medically cleared to return to exercise, the main thing is rest, giving your body time to heal. However, there are some things you can do, which is why I'm here today to guide you through some gentle stretching and reactivation to relieve the tension from holding your baby and breastfeeding. We're also going to be doing some core and pelvic floor breathing and some gentle KEGELS. This is designed to be safe within the first couple of days after having your baby, but please check with your doctor should you have any concerns. Firstly, we're going to start with some relaxation of our head and our neck. We're going to be doing some side lying breathing, hands and knees cat-cow, side lying mid-back rotations, child's pose, angel wings, and finishing up with those KEGELS. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my workouts or advice. Let's do this together. So come to your mat and come and sit on a cushion or perhaps a yoga block. And if you can get perhaps a small towel, and if you do have another yoga block, that's amazing, you can use that, but just a towel or a cushion will do. So first of all, you can do these stretches daily. We're going to do a nice relaxation and neck stretch. So let's close our eyes and then draw the chin to the chest. Take a nice inhale through the nose, feeling the body full of air. So 360 breathing is different from chest breathing and belly breathing, and the reason why we try to incorporate 360 breathing, especially after you've had your baby, you want to get those ribs expanding again because everything's pushed up and squeezed together when you're pregnant. So try and get the breath into the sides of the body and into the back and into the front, and let it come down to meet your pelvic floor. So let's do a few here, drawing that chin down, feeling that tension stretching out in the neck. Now you're going to lift your head up and look to the ceiling, lifting your chin. Breathe. Bring that head back down to the middle and look to your right hand side. Once again, breath. Change to the other side. Look as far back as you can, feeling all that tension stretching out. Inhale, exhale, inhale and exhale. Come back to the center, and finally diagonal chest, head to chest stretch. So look down over the right breast, feeling the stretch here. And move it to the left. So you really can do these daily, more than once a day. They're really good for stretching out the neck and the upper body tension. So now we're going to come down to side lying breathing. So this is about trying to get the breath into the side of the body. So I'm going to use 2 yoga blocks. You can use cushions and towels. So come onto your knees. Let's pop our yoga block down, and that's where you're going to place your head. And then you're going to have a yoga block between the knees. So come onto your side, try not to lay on your back. You want to come down gradually and just lay here. You can bring those legs in so you've got a nice 90-degree bend. So get comfortable. Find that neutral pelvis. You don't want to be sticking your bottom backwards so you've got an arch. You don't want to be massively tucked under. You just want to find that neutral position. Now from here, let's have a relax for a moment, and then take that inhale and place your bottom hand on your rib cage here. So inhale. Can you feel the air going into this side of the rib? And also you should feel the rib on the opposite side pushing into the mat. So let's do a few breaths here. inhale. Exhale. Do it again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Good. And just try to think about those abdominal muscles coming together, and perhaps a little lift of the pelvic floor as you exhale. One more for me. Inhale. Exhale. Lift that pelvic floor up and give it a bit of a squeeze and a lift to the first floor, and then relax. Take a moment here. If you want to carry that on, please do so. Otherwise, we're going to switch to the other side. So remove the yoga block, pop it down, and then come up using your arms to help you. And then come to the opposite side. You might just want to roll over, but I'm doing it so that you can see me. Placing the block down, coming down on my side, placing the block between my knees, and getting in position. So relax everything. Find the neutral pelvis. Think about knitting together the muscles between the two hip bones, drawing that pelvic floor up. So we're at basement level, we're relaxing, we're not doing anything with the pelvic floor. Hand on the rib here, or you could use the one at the bottom, whatever suits you best. Ready? Inhale. Pelvic floor is still relaxed. Exhale, engage. Knit everything together, draw that belly button into spine, pelvic floor starts engaging. As you do these more and more, you will get better at this, which just takes time. You're in the only very early stages after giving birth, so just have patience with yourself. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Feel that air coming into here, hold on to it, feel it expand, and feel that coming into the mat as well. And exhale. Lifting and squeezing and engaging those muscles between the two hip bones. And relax there. Now we're going to come up into hands and knees, cat-cow. So let's move our blocks to one side. Come up gently using your arms for support, and we're going to get rid of our blocks. Come onto all fours, and we're going to stack our shoulders over our wrists, and our knees will be under our hips. When you do the cat-cow, I don't want you particularly shifting forward and back when you go from cow to cat. You just have to try and stay as still as you can. Now, let's try and engage the pelvic floor, so you're lifting from the basement to the ground to the first floor as you exhale. As you inhale, you will release it with no tension. Okay, so first off, tilt that pelvis back and forth. This is a really nice one also for any lower back pain. Just tilt it back and forth. Then we're going to find that neutral position, so it's halfway between the two. We're going to go into cow by lifting our chest, pushing your hip bones, your pelvic bone towards the floor, lifting, and then go the opposite way, rounding that back, tucking head to chest, and tucking under, so you can feel your bottom tucking under, your lumbar spine is rounded, your thoracic spine is rounded, splaying those shoulder blades. Get a nice inhale here, exhale, lift. Pelvic floor, draw belly in, inhale, relax the pelvic floor. Tuck under, and exhale. And just keep moving through this cat-cow. Even if you don't do the breath, and you just move through this cat-cow. This will be really nice for you to do on a regular basis, a couple of times a day, whenever you feel you need it. And relax. The next one we're going to do is side lying mid-back rotations. So let's take our block and place it down as we did in the previous exercise. Come down onto your side and place that yoga block here. So nice 90-degree bend on the legs. Get nice and comfortable. And then you're going to place your right arm, if you're laying on your left side, onto your ear. As you pull that back, you're going to rotate behind. Now squeeze that block between your knees and try to engage your pelvic floor and the muscles between the abdominals here. This will also fire up and activate your inner thigh muscles, okay? So your adductors. So muscles switch off during pregnancy, others compensate. So it's always good to try and reactivate and connect that mind to muscle. So we're going to rotate back, look back, squeeze the yoga block, thinking tension between the pelvic floor and the abdominal muscles, and then come back. Now let's add our breath. So inhale here, feel the breath going into the back and the sides. Inhale, exhale, move. Squeeze the thighs, lift the pelvic floor, try and rotate. This is a great one for when you're like breastfeeding and you're feeling hunched over. You might not get very far, or you might be very flexible. Just see how you go. And inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to do one more on this side. Squeeze those thighs, pelvic floor up to first floor, knitting muscles together between the two hip bones. Remember, we shouldn't be shifting our pelvis back and forward, it should be nice and neutral. In 4, 3, 2, and relax. Now we're going to go to the other side. So come up gently, take your time. You can carry on doing these through the whole of your postpartum recovery. They really are lovely for that hunched over position and reactivating the inner thigh muscles. So once again, 90-degree bend on the legs, placing the block between there. Could be a pillow, anything will do. So let's relax first of all. So you're going to inhale, exhale, twist. Pelvic floor lifted from basement to ground to first floor. Feel that lovely twist in the rib cage here. And come back with an inhale, exhale. Squeeze those inner thighs, please. Inhale, exhale. Remember, when you inhale, you release the legs. Just hold it there. See how far you can rotate. 5, 4, 3, 2, and come back. Lovely. Okay, so come up gently, take your time, and then we're going to move into child's pose. So you could take your block and sit on it, or a pillow if you like. Might make it a bit more comfortable. Your legs can be nice and wide if it's good for you. It really does depend on what feels better for you. So let's hinge forward and place our hands on the floor. And we're going to walk it forward. Our forearms are on the floor. Now, if you like, you can take your head down to the mat. I'm going to talk you through it before I do that. What we want to do here is focus on rounding the spine, and we want to focus on getting the breath into our back. So be very mindful of that, all right? Let's not worry too much about your pelvic floor at this point. Just try and focus on getting expansion of your breath into your body. So let's place our head down. Inhale, exhale. So take a nice deep breath in. Ready? Inflate the body. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going on that, ladies. So you want to feel like all of the breath has come out of the body, and start incorporating little pauses at the base. So when you've got no air left in you, hold it. 1, 2, 3, and then go again. And then at the top range, do the same. So get that inhale, feel it going into the back. And then when you get to the top and you can't get any more breath in, then hold it. 1, 2, 3, and relax. Let's keep this going for a few more reps. Lengthen those arms out if you wish. Last one. And then come up gently. Okay, now we're going to be lying on our back. You might want a small towel to place under your back, your lower back. So once again, always come down this way. Don't just lay back and put your abdominals under pressure. So we've got our towel in our lumbar spine here, just to give it a little bit of support. And also, I think it helps because then you can feel your back expansion going into the towel. Tilt your pelvis up a little bit just so you can get that back into the floor. Now we're going to do angel wings. We're only going to do single arm because there's a good chance that you might feel quite tight and feel quite uncomfortable at this point with breastfeeding and holding and bending over all of the time to do nappies and all sorts. So let's place our right arm in a 90-degree bend. And what we're going to do, we're going to inhale through the nose, feeling body up. As we exhale, we're going to let this arm come up. The idea is to keep the arm in contact with the floor. If you're finding it's too difficult, just roll slightly onto that side, okay? Over time, we can progress this by keeping flat, extending the arm further and adding both arms. But for now, we're being mindful that this is only the early days. So place that arm there, rock to one side if you need to. Inhale, exhale. Draw those ribs down as well for me. Try not to let them flare. Extend that arm. And then inhale, exhale. Do you need to rock over or can you go back to that central position? See how you feel. But I'd really love it if you kept contact with the ground, with that arm. Keep going through it. Exhale's on the rise. Inhale is on the when it comes back down. Ready? Inhale, exhale, lift. And down. Let's switch to the opposite side. So find a little tuck of the pelvis towards the ceiling. And if you need to rock over, that's fine. Left arm now on the floor. And inhale, exhale, lift. Reach as high as you can manage, keeping the hand, the wrist, the elbow, everything on the floor. Inhale, let it come down. Exhale, lift. And down. Give me 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift. last one. Exhale, lift. And bring that arm back down. Good, okay, now let's roll over. And now we're going to go into our Kegel work. So, see, do have as many as you feel comfortable doing. Don't have to do too many. If you want to sit on a block, or perhaps you could sit on a cushion. I'm going to actually stack these up so that I feel super, super comfortable and I can rest myself on my blocks. So come around your pillow, come around your blocks and get comfortable. It's important to be comfortable. Now, let go of all the tension in your body. Let go of the tension in your pelvic floor. Think of your pelvic floor as your basement, your ground and your first floor. Basement is completely relaxed, no tension in it at all. Then you go to that ground floor with a squeeze. Then you go to the first floor with a lift, okay? So there are stages. If you're hanging around that ground floor, you won't notice the difference, too much difference when you go to the first floor. So please take it down. If you're finding this difficult, it just takes practice. So let's release it. Okay, now we're going to lift all the way to the first floor. So ready, squeeze to the ground, lift to first, and then let it come back down to ground, down to basement. Lifting to the first, down to basement. Remember that middle row, the ground floor, okay? So we're going to take a nice inhale now. And we're going to incorporate it with the lift. So an inhale is where it's relaxed in the basement, and an exhale is where you squeeze and lift to first floor. So let's go. So inhale, exhale, squeeze, and lift. Are you up there? It's all the air out of your body. And then inhale, taking the pelvic floor back down with no tension. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Hold it and release. Now we're going to do some slow twitch working out of our Kegels, and then we're going to do fast twitch, all right? So we're going to do 3 rounds of hold. So we're going to lift that pelvic floor to the first floor, and we're going to hold it for 10 seconds. You're going to release and you're going to do it again. 3 rounds. Are you ready? So shut your eyes if you want, if you can focus better on that pelvic floor. So inhale, ready, go. Up, 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 up. And let's count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Inhale, exhale, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, last one, exhale, lift to the first. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Good, shake it out. Make sure there's no tension. We're now going to do fast twitch. So we're going to do 10 up, down, okay? So engage, release, engage, release. Just make sure that you're trying to hit that first floor and you are making it back down to basement before you go back up again. Ready? And off we go. Inhale at the base, exhale, lift. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Release completely. We've got 2 more rounds. Ready? Inhale, exhale, lift. 2. 2 more. And release. Shake it out. And finally, our last round of fast twitch. Let's go. Inhale, exhale, lift. 3, you're going fine. 4, 5, 6, you can do it. 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I think that's probably enough work on your pelvic floor at this point. I would suggest that you try and incorporate these as much as possible. Try to do the slow, try to do the fast, mix it up a little bit, and just maybe make a note on how many you're getting, how many feels comfortable, and obviously if you are getting any discomfort afterwards, then it might be too much that you're doing. So thank you so much for joining me. I really do hope this was helpful. Remember to leave me a comment, ask me a question if you like, give me a thumbs up, and obviously don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. Take care.